My wife is at work show.
Welcome everybody to the first ever episode of the My Wife is at Work show. The variety show made for my wife by me. She's not technically my wife yet, she's my fiance. We just got engaged 7 months ago. Wedding's in February, RSVP. On today's show, this is the first of hopefully many of these. My fiance Rachel works a remote job, so we see each other fairly often between our two occupations, but once a week she goes into the office in Tempe, Arizona, and I am left very alone and very full of thoughts and ideas that I want to convey to her. So I thought I would make this show the My Wife is at Work show. Basically, variety show, gonna have a bunch of different segments that I am making for my fiance Rachel, and for you lovely viewers at home as well to enjoy. These different segments will cover a variety of different things, hence why it is called a variety show. It's going to cover a lot of different stuff. Comment down below if you want to see something specific for next time, but this is kind of what we're rolling with for the first episode. So we'll just get right on into it. And the first segment ever, or I should preface, there is a sponsor for this video. Today's video is sponsored by, just kidding, nobody. This channel has 0 subscribers. What did you expect? Anyways, first segment, Austin's Weekly Obsession.
Austin's Weekly Obsession.
So, I recently have gotten back into Pokemon Go. I was one of the OG players back in 2016 when the game first came out. I was one of the first original players. I remember the day, July 6th, I believe was the day it came out, 2016. Played it pretty heavily for the first couple of years, and then I just kind of lost interest. I was on my phone. I don't think it was even downloaded anymore. I wasn't logged into my account anymore. Just this past week or week and a half, I have started playing the game quite a bit again. There's actually quite a bit of stops and gyms in my community that I live in with Rachel. It's really fun. It is such a fun game to get into. You don't really have to pay money. It's free to play. If you do want to pay, you can. I don't, but Rachel, I don't pay for it. It's a free-to-play game, and just if you love Pokemon, it is so fun to play. There's so many different guys to catch. It's very addictive with the gym system and spending the stops and trying to complete the field research. It has me really excited for the new game coming out, Legends ZA, I believe, later this fall on the Switch. I love playing those games as a kid, even as an adult. I can't wait for that game to come out, having played all this Pokemon Go. I am slowly trying to get Rachel to join Team Valor so we can do some trades and maybe go defend some gyms and play some raids. But nevertheless, comment down below if you are a Pokemon Go player. I could send you my trainer friend code and we could send some gifts. How about that? That'd be pretty fun. I got Rachel to download an account. She is a friend of mine giving me gifts every day. I love that. All right, our next segment, Austin's Sports Saloon.
Austin Sports Saloon.
I am originally from Texas. Rachel is from the Wisconsin, Illinois, Midwestern area. She lived in a couple different places up there. But I'm originally from Texas, lived more than half of my life there before moving to Arizona and meeting Rachel. I like a lot of teams that are very Texas-y, very Texas-based, a lot of horses, a lot of cowboys, a lot of Western stuff. Hence the name, Sports Saloon. It's very cowboy-y, but I don't like the Cowboys. That's the one team from Texas I don't like. I'm a Broncos fan. My dad is from Denver, my grandpa's from Denver. Broncos fan, everything else, Texas. It's very confusing. So the way this segment will work is every week I will talk about some news that is happening with the teams that I like, relaying this to Rachel so she can get a quick summary instead of me blabbering on about it later tonight when I see her. For this first week, there's not a lot of teams currently playing. The NFL season is about to start, so the Broncos preseason will be, I believe, starting next week. The Mavericks just ended. I'm a Mavericks fan. They had quite a disappointing season trading Luka. That was abysmal. Texas Tech. I'm from Lubbock, Texas. I love Texas Tech football, basketball, baseball, all that stuff. They're supposed to be pretty good. Their season starts soon for basketball and football, I believe. I've gotten really into the Dallas Wings. They drafted Paige Beckers, which is pretty cool. She's really lit that city up so far. The team's not very good. I've seen with their record, but She's a very interesting player to have for the future. She might be the face of the league after Caitlin Clark. The only team currently playing right now is the Texas Rangers, World Series champions 2 years ago. Rachel and I went to the game. Here's the picture. Game 4, not Game 5. The Texas Rangers are currently in the midst of trying to get the wild card in the AL West. They were quite a few games back a couple weeks ago, and then they've kind of had a resurgence since the All-Star break. Trade deadline is, I believe, today, this week. It is today, I think. They're trading for a couple guys, a couple pitchers. Need some people to help out DeGrom and Eovaldi on the stretch. Offense hasn't been that great until recently, so hopefully that keeps up, and Seager and Simeon and DeGrom can get them to a championship. What I wanted to do this first week as well with Sports Saloon was I want to make predictions for how I think my teams are going to do before their season starts. So the Rangers are already mid-season. Biased opinion, I think they're going to win the World Series. It's what I've said every year, my entire life, since I was a baby in Texas. It's only happened once. I was right at one time out of 26. It's not a bad percentage. Realistically, the Rangers, it's looking like if they keep doing well, they could get the first wild card spot if they keep this trajectory of wins going. I don't see them getting past the Yankees, most likely. I don't see them getting past the Mariners. I think the Mariners have kind of killed us this year. World Series would be tough because I think there's a lot of really good National League teams this year. Rangers, playoffs. That is probably their ceiling. They're going to make the playoffs. I don't think they probably could win the World Series, but I want them to. Next team, Dallas Mavericks. A lot of controversy last year. It was really terrible to be a fan, honestly. They traded my favorite player. Basketball is my favorite sport. They traded Luka. I was heartbroken. It was crazy. AD hopefully can figure it out this year. Kyrie will come from his injury mid-season. Hopefully he'll add to their arsenal of stuff. I'm going to guess the Mavericks are at least like a top 6 seed playoff team this year. That is my prediction for the Dallas Mavericks. For the Denver Broncos, they exceeded expectations last year. They ended up making the playoffs and had 10 wins, I believe. It was like 9 or 10 wins. Got absolutely murdered by the Buffalo Bills in the first round of the playoffs. That was absolutely heartbreaking. But they overachieved last year. I think they could consistently win a wild card every year. It's hard being in the same division as the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. But I think Broncos could consistently hold down the wild card. I think they could get 8 or 9 wins this year. Make the playoffs. Texas Tech football, I think they are going to be a sleeper this year. I think they are going to be a top 10 team by the end of the college football season, pushing for a playoff spot in the Big 12. We don't really have to worry about Texas or Oklahoma anymore because they moved to the SEC. Got to worry about BYU and Houston and Utah, U of A, ASU. I will be going to the ASU Texas Tech game later this year. Maybe we'll stream a special episode of Rachel and I at the game. But I think Tech could make the playoff this year for college football. They're definitely going to be a top 10 team by the end of the year. Hopefully all of those predictions don't age like sour milk. Starting next week, we will just be talking about straight up news about the teams or just current events of the team, like record, games, all that stuff. All right. Third segment we got for you today is the Lovebirds Book Club.
Lovebirds Book Club.
So, Rachel and I have an official book club that we do every single Sunday while we eat brunch. We make food, we talk about the book we read for that week, and our most current read was Carrie Soto. It is a book about a older tennis player who is retired, and she's like the greatest tennis player of all time. She's basically like Serena Williams. Like, she's won a bunch of Grand Slams, she's done everything in her career, she's won a bunch of money, but somebody has tied her record for most Grand Slams ever, so she comes out of retirement to try and beat that record once again. It is a story full of great themes, I think, in my opinion. Carrie Soto is a story about being okay with moving on from things or finding new passions in your life. It's okay to step away from something as long as you know you can make that purpose just as beneficial to something else in your life. I'm not going to give away too many spoilers in these Lovebird Book Club reviews, but by the course of the end of the book, Carrie Soto goes through a big character arc and journey. She meets a lot of new people. She has a lot of things happen in her life and her personally that forces her to change possibly, but she does a good way of overcoming those adversities and coming to grips with what is expected or maybe needed of her to continue living a fruitful life. It was a great discussion with Rachel over the Lovebirds Book Club about Carrie Soto. She gave it 5 stars. I gave it 4 stars. In my opinion, great book. I think things happen too fast in Carrie Soto. We spend a good half of the book, the first half, going over her prior career and then the first major of the year. If you guys don't know, that's the Australian Open. And then the second half of the book, they speed through like 8 months of stuff in like 100 pages. There's like multiple things that happen to characters and big life things that happen so fast that I feel like they rushed to the conclusion. It could have, I loved the world of the characters. It could have kept going for a couple 100 pages or more, in my opinion. It just feels like it was rushed maybe at the end, but overall the story was really nice. I would recommend reading it. It was a very solid book. 4 out of 5 stars for me. Okay. Fourth segment here, we got the Sporkle Quiz of the Week.
Sporkle Quiz of the Week.
I will take a Sporkle quiz submitted by Rachel, or if the fans at home are lucky enough, based on the 1 or 2 people that comment on this video besides Rachel, if they want to try and stump me with a quiz, send it my way and I will play it on the show. This week, submitted, we have, can I name every single NBA champion of all time? Looks like the timer is for 12 minutes. I'm probably only going to go for about 7 minutes, just because that's the time I'm going to try and give myself every week, just so it doesn't take forever. I like to ramble, if you haven't already noticed. So yeah, on Sporkle, our first quiz will be, can I name every single NBA champion in history? All right, here we go. Timer has started. I am definitely going to start not with the beginning. I think I can go as far back as maybe... Let's start with the easy ones. We'll go like 88, or we'll go 87. So I think in 87, it gives you the opponents. Hopefully you can see this on the screen if I did the editing correctly. I've already wasted a minute messing around with this. 87, I believe, was the Lakers. Yes. 88 was the Lakers, that back-to-back. 89 was the Pistons, the bad boys. They went back-to-back. And then 91, that's when Michael Jordan comes into the picture. He goes Bulls 3 times in a row. 94, that's when Jordan retires and we get the Rockets twice. And then he comes back from his gambling baseball. Not gambling, don't gamble. And then he retires, and then 99 is Tim Duncan and the Spurs, I believe. 2000 is Kobe and Shaq 3 times, right? And then 2003 Spurs again, and then the Pistons, and then this is where we get into my wheelhouse, I believe. Spurs, and then my Dallas Mavericks, unfortunately, in a series with way too many free throws, get absolutely hosed by the Miami Heat. 2007 is the Spurs, 08 is the Celtics, 09 is the Lakers, 11 is the Mavericks. How could I stumble on that? It's the only one we have, oh my god. 2012 is the Heat. They go back-to-back, then they lose to the Spurs, and then this is where we get into probably the prime of my NBA watching career from the couch. We go Warriors, Cavs, Warriors again. Kevin Durant ruined the NBA for about 3 years there. Raptors, that might be my favorite NBA champion that isn't the Mavericks. That season was amazing with Kawhi Leonard. 2020, that was the Lakers with LeBron. 21, we got the Bucks. 22, we got the Warriors. 23, we got the Nuggets. 24, we got the Celtics. We don't talk about that one. That series never happened. If they win that, they don't trade Luka. We don't talk about that. 25, the most recent, the Pacers lost to the Thunder. How boring was that series? I didn't really care for it. All right, this is where it gets hard. I don't know a lot of the older ones. I'm a casual. 86, I think, is the Celtics. 85 is the Lakers. 84 is the Celtics. 83 is the 76ers. 82 is the Lakers. 81 is the Celtics. 80 is the Lakers. 79, is that the crazy one where it's like the Trailblazers or something? Oh my god, is it the Supersonics? Okay. 78. Is that the Blazers? Oh no, our Cinderella run might be up here already. I know if we go really far back, there's a lot of Celtics and a lot of Lakers. I just don't know which years they are because I'm not 65 years old. We'll give myself a minute and a half here to try to figure this out. We'll go to the 7-minute mark. Okay. So if I go I think the Warriors are the first ever NBA champions, and then I think it might be the Bullets. I'm getting really lucky here. Is it the Nationals? I'm going kind of off what's on screen already. Okay. What year did Kareem win the NBA championship? Was that 78? No. Was that 74? No. 73. No. When did Kareem win his championship with the Bucks? Didn't that happen? Was that not a thing that happened? Then he went to the Lakers? Oh my god, I'm sell of the century right here. 71 was when Kareem won with the Lakers, or the Bucks. Lou Alcindor. Okay, we got 45 seconds to try and get as many as possible. I'm just gonna spam Celtics and Lakers. Probably could go based off who the teams are, I'm not realizing. I might be stupid. Ever so slightly. Okay. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god, I gotta do a bunch of Celtics. I just gotta copy and paste. Ooh, we might be screwed. Oh my god, I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll. There's so many Celtics. And that's the time. 63 out of 79. That is not too bad, I don't think. I don't know the percentage on that because Rachel's more of the math person, but I think I did a pretty good job. 2 thumbs up. Didn't know all the old ones. I'm a casual. Okay. So, our last segment today is going to be music, movies, madness.
Music, movies, madness.
So, in this segment, I'm going to every week talk about 3 of the best things in entertainment I saw, whether it was a movie, it was a TV show, a song, an album, something that was very entertaining to me. My 3 things for this week were clips. Let God Sort 'Em Out. If you haven't listened to this album, you are absolutely missing out. Pusha T and Malice might have come out with the album of the year. I'm predicting this is probably going to win Best Rap Album at the Grammys, even though the Grammys don't matter. It probably will win, though, because it is amazing. The production from Pharrell, top tier. Samples, amazing. Bars, incredible. You need to check this out. It is awesome. Secondly, I listened to Tyler, the Creator's new album, Don't Tap the Glass. Also very amazing, not as good as the Clips album, and Tyler is also on the Clips album on one of the songs, POV I believe. But this album is also really good. I loved Ring Ring Ring. I have sung that song to myself all across the house. Rachel can attest to that in her response to this video, or comment. I've listened to these 2 projects abundantly in the last week or so. They are amazing, and it is refreshing because I feel like I haven't heard anything quite that good in a while. Obviously, I have top tier music taste. I have a YouTube channel with 0 subscribers. But I loved these 2 albums. If you ever want to hear more of my reviews, I have another channel called Baby Butter Reviews where I review these very condensed 60-second reviews of music and movies that come out. Check that out if you ever want to. Rachel's there. Say hi to Rachel. Last thing I saw, went with my dad to the movies. We saw Superman. It is really good. I had very low expectations going into this film because I don't know, DC's been a little erratic over the years. Marvel isn't very great right now either, but I thought with James Gunn, I didn't know really what to expect with the whole new DC brand and Superman. There's a new actor, a new cast. It's really good. It was really funny, really heartwarming. I can't wait to see what they do with that character in that world. It was really good. But best thing I entertained all week, Let God Sort 'Em Out clips. Go listen to that. Change your life. All the songs are bangers. Anyways, that's all the time we have for this week. If you did enjoy the show, if you're Rachel, like, subscribe, comment down below what you want to see next. I'm very open to suggestions. This is a very new thing we're trying here. And most importantly, Rachel, can't wait to see you later.